Oh, yeah. Not coming up. 10 o'clock. And 1
One and Opie, what's up? KD2, how are you doing? KD2 DPP.
Say again, over.
Doing Kilo Delta 2 Delta Papa.
Yes, and why are you interrupting the net? Never mind. Okay, 3, 2, 1, showtime. Hey, does anyone need to use the repeater or need a signal report before I begin this morning's traffic net for the ding 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 6th of December 2016? Just gives you the call sign over and over endlessly. Good morning, this is Cycle 1 of the ARRL Western Massachusetts Traffic Net. This net is daily at 10 a.m., 10:15 on Sunday on the No-Bark Mount Greylock K1 FFK 146.91. Repeater with a tone of 162.2. Purpose of this net is to handle any messages between the cities and towns of Western Massachusetts and to provide liaison to the first region net that meets on a frequency of 3.948 megacycles. At 13:45 and 15:30 local time, this is a direct net. Please do not break the net unless you have emergency or priority traffic. Please do not leave the net without first informing net control whenever possible. And when checking into this net, please give your information slowly. Thank you. And when checking in, please say this is or however you want to do it. And then unkey your microphone, quit transmitting momentarily. As such, checking for doubling and heterodynes, weird noises, and so forth. And then continue. Even a caveman could do it. Your net control station today is November 1, Quebec Oscar Victor, N1 QOV. My name is Obi, Oscar Bravo India Echo. Currently, I am running commercial power. Commercial. I have no traffic at this time, and I am located in Pittsfield, Berkshire County, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. At this time, are there any stations holding emergency or priority traffic. Go now. No station heard. Now looking for our first region liaison station or a representative. So, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, Paul, please call on this any traffic.
This is Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, AB1GC. My name is Paul, and I'm running battery power. Good morning, Obi. Good morning to the rest of the net. I have one message going to Beckett, as in the burner, Massachusetts. Now, if somebody comes in and wants to take it, we can do that, or I'm going to be around the radio at 1 o'clock today, and maybe we can pawn it off to Peter. He likes taking them. That's up to you. Back to net control.
Okay, moist messages, M&Ms. Recognizing Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, Paul, battery power with one piece of traffic message for Foxtrot Oscar Romeo, Beckett, Massachusetts. When signing in, please signify if you can take this message, preferably at 1 p.m., 1300 this afternoon, and this repeater. So, now looking for additional stations with, no, they don't have any other. Now looking for stations with traffic or announcements. Traffic or announcements, anyone can generate traffic or bring announcements to the net. Traffic or announcements, your call signs, please. Megacycles. Now looking for what? Any station, anywhere, anyhow, all are welcome and encouraged to participate in the Western Mass Traffic Net. Stations with or without, please check in now.
November. Moblin Gardner, negative traffic. Good morning, Opie. Good morning to the net. In and out, please.
This is November 1, Alpha, November Delta. Doug in Munson. Commercial power, no traffic. 38 degrees in beautiful downtown Munson with the sun shining. Good morning, Obi. Good morning, Net.
This is Kilo Charlie 1, Bravo Yankee Delta, Rich in Pittsfield, battery power, no traffic. Good morning.
There is.
Here is November 1, Oscar Bravo Lima, Tony Mobile and Savoy, no traffic.
November Tango India. Name is John, the QTH. This morning is in Northfield, Mass, running battery mobile.
This is Alpha Charlie 1, Bravo India. Ken in Peterborough, New Hampshire. Commercial power, no traffic. Good morning, Obi. This is Kilo Echo Zero, India X-Ray, Quebec. Chuck, Cohonson, New York. Battery power, negative traffic.
This is Kilo Charlie 1, Echo, 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 Brian, North Adams, Mass. Battery power. Good morning.
This is Kilo Delta 2 Lima Victor. We are coming up on Mass Pike, and I'm operating off a handout. Traffic is fine.
Okay, probably going to need at least one fill. Myself, commercial power, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango, Charlie Paul again, battery. Holding one piece of traffic for Beckett, Massachusetts, preferably this afternoon at the 1 p.m. net. N1 IPZ, I think it was Don, battery. N1 AND, Doug, commercial. Good morning, sunshine. The world says hello. KC1BYD, Rich, battery, little low this morning on the audio, Rich. N1OBL, Tony, battery. WA1NTI, John, battery. There was a Roger beep or something there. We got there. Alpha Charlie 1 Bravo Tango Ken. Bravo India Ken Charlie. Commercial power KE1 IXQ Jeff, battery. KC1 EEE Brian, battery. And there was a Kilo, a Delta 2, pretty scratchy into the machine. You want to try it again, please? Okay, whatever. Although it's not involved in traffic handling, it's still holding one piece of traffic for Beckett, Mass. Oh, if we can get somebody to take that. Oh, what are we doing here? All those, what I say, anyway. Okay, what do we got here? Looks like the ISS will be doing slow scan TV, but apparently it's going to be over Russia, the 8th through the 9th of December. Also, still looking for alternate net controls for the Western Mass Emergency Net, HF. Sunday morning, 8:30, 3.9 for Lower Side. Get a hold of John, W1JWN, or go to the Western Mass Emergency Net Facebook groups page. All the everything you need, logs and call-ups and whatever is right there. Again, W1JWN, John, or Western Mass Emergency Net groups page. Groups page. Looks like I missed doing that control for the Newcomers Roundtable last night. And next decent pass of the ISS this afternoon at 16:45, 4:45 this afternoon, basically overhead, a little bit to the east, no, west. That away is west. And looks like they're only active aboard the ISS on packet radio. And what have we here for weather for Pittsfield? Pretty nice out there. Doing nice. 35 degrees, wind is calm. Looks like maybe a little snow tonight. Otherwise, nice day. It's a day for a daydream. Here in the USA, celebrating for some strange reason World Trick Shot Day. I guess that means basketball. National Gazpacho Day, St. Nicholas Day. National Miners Day. No more mining, just solar, please. National Microwave Oven Day. Who could do? National Pawn Brokers Day. Did plenty of that in the military. And on the other list, USA Miners Day, Mitten Tree Day, National Gazpacho Day. Put on your own shoes day. What? Put on your own shoes day. I just had brakes done. And St. Nicholas Day. Anyway, still holding for Beckett, Mass. Still holding Beckett, Mass. Signify if you can take that probably this afternoon. Additional stations.
This is N2VU, November 2, Victor Uniform. Donald up in...
Okay, we had Donald trying to check in N2VU, I guess. Probably commercial power. You dropped the repeater, Don.
Dropped out of the repeater, or is it the non-polite ID?
Unknown at this time. I'm still studying for my mental abilities test.
Alright, Roger Delia, let me do it again quickly. You know who I am, you know where I am, and what I do it with. Over.
Just a formality. This doesn't get turned into anyone anyway, but anyway. And even the paper doesn't burn in the wood fire. Thank you, Donald.
WJ.
Other stations.
1MWJ.
Here is Kilo Alpha 2 Delta Tango Hotel. Name is Glenn, mobile, no traffic.
And someone was trying to get in there with a couple words, but anyway, Kilo Alpha 1 Delta Kilo Hotel, a battery, more further stations.
And 1MWJ helps if I'm on the right antenna.
How could that happen? N1MWJ Ellis battery. I've had them where the coax wasn't even connected. Oh, your signal went way down. No coax. Additional stations.
So it didn't sound like you got my call correct. This is Kilo Alpha 2 Delta Tango Hotel, mobile. No traffic.
Okay, KA2 Delta, whatever. I won't be beat. Won't beat a dead horse. 2 land stations. Very good. Additionals. All right, still holding for Beckett, Massachusetts at 1 o'clock if somebody wants to take that before we end the net. Anyway, moving right along here, what do we got? Other events happening elsewhere in the world. Constitution Day in Spain, Farmers Day in Ghana, Foundation of Quito in Ecuador, high atop the Andes, WCJB, what's the name of that shortwave station? Independence Day in Finland. And the Catholic St. Nicholas Day in Ukraine, where they raise really nice belly dancers. Also, St. Nicholas Day in a whole bunch of places. I guess mainly Christian places. On the other list, what do we got here? Belgium, St. Nicholas, Ecuador, Foundation of Quito, Ecuador. Finland, Independent. India, public holiday in India. They got a holiday every day. Italy, St. Nicholas. Spain, Constitution Day. No Bark News, which you can find at the Northern Berkshire Amateur Radio Club.org website. Next meeting, January 22nd, 6 p.m. No Bark Holiday Party Potluck, the 11th. What's that, this weekend? Sunday the 11th, coming up. 6 p.m. No, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. at the Berkshire Humane Society building, 214 Barker Road in Pittsfield. They'll have coffee, but they say no booze. Whatever. What else we got here? Great Barrington repeaters on the air. I think everybody's heard that. Next flea market next year, 21 January 21st at Whitman, Massachusetts. When's Mount Tom's not until March. Contest this weekend, ARRL 10 meter CW and foam. Something on CW. International Naval Contest. It's not belly button, that's, I guess, maritime naval. AWA Bruce Kelly 1929 QSO Party CW. Great Colorado Snowshoe Run CW on 20. That's it for contests this weekend. Currently, solar flux at 83, A is 4, K is 2, count 37, and finally? Yeah, finally. VHF, UHF openings, got BM stretching from around Washington, D.C., Delaware, up through Pennsylvania. Over there on the East Coast, stretching from New Jersey up through, right through, covering our area up into Canada, you hosers. Additional stations, N1QOB. Okay, looks like the Beckett traffic is being held until the 1 p.m. Not unless somebody volunteers to take it right now. All right, Paul, can you hold?
No problem.
They're never important anyway. Anyway, okay, thank you, Paul. What are we saying here? Questions, comments, anything for the net before we try to close this thing? That's always interesting. Okay, the next regularly scheduled traffic net is this afternoon at 1300, 1 p.m. on this repeater, and with that, this closes Cycle 1 of the ARRL Western Mass Traffic Net. I'd like to thank the Northern Berkshire Trader Club for the use of Mount Greylock K1 FFK 146.91 162.2 tones repeater. And yeah, there's a recording, so if you want to hear yourself, my call sign at your stream, YouTube, or Twitcasting, or wherever. Anyway. Time is now 10 hours and 21 minutes. 1021 hours. I now return the repeater back to Tango Oscar. Regular amateur use. Thank you to all stations who checked in and those who stood by. Don't swallow the candy. While this net was being conducted, this is November 1. Quebec Oscar Victor N1QOV OB. Now signing clear. 7-3. You can't do that on phone. The net is closed.
listening.
All right, somebody get back to this guy. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there, but somebody pick this guy up and straighten things out. N1Q.
Have a new generator.
This is N1AND station calling here. You're cutting yourself off in the beginning or something here. We're not getting all of what you're saying, and there's a tone on the beginning of your transmission. I don't know if it's you or something else going on there. Try it again. N1AND.
Doug, this is KC1BYD. Sounds like NTI. He said something about he's got a new generator. Might be fluctuating or something.
Yeah, I wasn't getting all of it, Rich. He had a big tone there, like he had internet access on or something. And then I missed half of his transmission, so I don't know what he's doing there. N1AND.
N1AND, N1MWJ.
Good morning, Ellis. Looks like a little kind of a crispy day out there this morning. Bright and sunny here in beautiful downtown Munson, but temperature just crept up to 40. Kind of cool, I guess. How's everything up there?
A few degrees below you there at 37. And looks like from tonight on through Friday, at least, we're going to be having snow around over here. And Friday is supposed to go down at 12 degrees, so we'll be getting the fire stoked, that's for sure.
WA1NTI.
Yeah, go ahead, John. I don't know what was going on there before, but we were only getting part of what you said. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, I'm in the car. I'm up here in Northfield. Just had to check out what was going on. I hope it all is copacetic. No, I was just mentioning about Obi. He went out and got another generator.
Oh, I didn't know that. We couldn't get what you were saying. I did hear you say something about a generator there, but being mobile, you were in and out or something. And then at the same time, it's been happening intermittently. There's a tone, like like an internet access tone or something going on here. Are you getting that too, Ellis?
Would hear it, it's like a DTMF tone or something like that when you start up there, John.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I alleviated the problem, and now I'm going to go into a bad spot. So anyways, you fellas, have a great day. Looks nice right now. WA1NTI.
Yeah, okay, John. Yeah, the beep's gone, so that's over with. Have a good one. If you get back, or you can hit the repeater, come back in. N1MWJ, over to you. This is N1AND.
Good morning, Doug. Not doing a whole heck of a lot, working a little bit of DX this morning. Just worked a station in Norway and one over on the Swiss-French border. And yesterday I got some down in the South Pacific on Cook Islands. And other than that, not a whole lot going on here right now. Just got a get some firewood together and get the wood furnace fired up with this cold stretch coming in. But I'm going to hold off a little bit because it's 37 out right now, and it just doesn't like it above freezing. Creosote's up a bit. But when it gets nice and cold, it draws real well. And it's nice and toasty too, because I've got, besides my heat going, my hot water is also done by the wood furnace, so that makes for some real, hot showers and stuff.
Oh, very good. I assume it probably makes her some good savings too on whatever else you're using there, the oil bill, electric bill, whatever, or both. Anyway, yeah, it's, you're talking about wood. I remember when I was a kid living at home, we heated the house with wood, and I remember getting off the school bus, change your clothes, go out and split wood. That was my job every day after school. Fill the woodshed. By this time, probably we'd have it packed up pretty well. And yeah, that's what we did in the old farmhouse where I was raised as a kid. We had a couple of oil stoves, one in the front of the house, one in the back, and if it was cold out, they were shivering. But in the middle, we had a wood stove and kept that thing fired up. And, of course, it was like all the time with a wood stove. It was 100 next to it, and then 25 over by the window.
Yeah. Well, that's, before we did a remodel about 7-8 years back, that was a situation here, and had a couple computer fans, like tucked up in doorways and stuff to blow it into other rooms and whatnot. But when we did the remodel on the house, we ripped out the electric baseboard and put in hot water baseboard and wood furnace, and then in the areas of brand new construction, we put it in the floor. And oh, that's toasty, because you can walk around just in a pair of socks and have hot feet instead of freezing. And so that worked out really well. And the wood furnace, let me drop it a sec. The wood furnace is a wood gasification furnace, and so there's hardly any ash. I can burn for a week or two and only have about a shoebox worth of ash. So it's pretty darn efficient.
Yeah, very good. I see, years ago, people used to use fireplaces a lot, but the problem with the fireplaces was always that half the heat was going up the chimney. And I see nowadays, you can get these stoves, and they have two pipes as you drop down through the flue. One is to bring air in, and the other one is to let the smoke out. And they claim it doesn't suck the oxygen out of the room or the heat out of the room. It just much more efficient that way. And you're talking about a floor. Yeah, I've seen that a lot of times where they're remodeling or rebuilding or building new. They put heat in the floor, and yeah, that must be nice to walk around on a warm floor on a cold morning. N1MWJ, this is N1AND.
Yeah, and I got bad circulation in my feet, so let me tell you, it helps a whole lot on the comfort level. So it's a good investment to do. So what have you been up to these days? Anything good on the radio?
No, I haven't been doing too much. I was kind of waiting. I purchased an LDG automatic and yeah, hello. First day with a new mouth here. Automatic antenna tuner. It was brand specific for this Yaesu 991, and something went haywire in it. I sent it back, and it's been quite a while now, at least a month since they have gotten it, and kind of waiting to hear something on that. But I was going to ask you, you said you were making contacts around. I haven't turned on HF in a while. I have a very compromised antenna system, as I guess you probably know. The band that I can work best, if at all, is 20 meters. What frequencies were you using?
40 this morning and early morning, and then I was on 17 just a little while ago. And yeah, no, I've just got a 80 through 6 Buckmaster off-center fed dipole up, and it strung between a 30-foot tower and a spruce tree, and out behind the house, and the hill slopes down towards the house, and so over the length of the antenna, there's, you know, a good 20-foot, you know, drop or so, because the wire's a flat top, and you know it's 20 feet, you know, higher on, you know, at the bottom than it is at the top, you know, but you know, if you get the idea of the elevation drop of the hill. So, and that's just over the length of the antenna. N1 MWJ.
Oh yeah, very good. I was, well, I made a mistake quite a while ago. I wanted to put up a CHA 250B because I was watching Obies, tried Obies at the Hamfest. It's just a straight vertical, no radials, nothing, and it works. And I thought that'd be good because they don't allow antennas here. I thought it would be pretty unobtrusive, and not too far outside my window here, there's a spruce tree. Kind of leaning over now since the tornado, but it was nice and straight. And I wanted to put that that vertical in amongst the branches of the tree. You wouldn't even see it really. It might stick out the top a little bit. But I made the mistake of asking permission. And a couple old timers told me afterwards, you should have just done it. It's always easier to ask forgiveness than it is to ask permission. But anyway, I wound up with a mini G5RV, which is 1/4 of a 102-inch G5RV, and I have that in the attic. And had I known at the time, I really could put a G5RV Junior, which would be a lot better. But still, it's inside the house, and there's a big difference.
Well, just tell them you want to put up a flagpole for, you know, you were in the Marines and stuff, and tell them, you know, you want to put up a flagpole. So you put that vertical up and put a small flag on the top of it, just so it won't stress it.
Yeah, I've thought of a lot of different situations. Of course, we made these little end-fed wires. You know, we didn't make the wire. You just take a piece of wire, and we made the little. It's a 9-to-1 un. You feed it with coax, and then just run out a single wire, end-fed wire, and. Yeah, I don't know, we were running about 30, 31 feet or something, but you can vary it quite a lot. It was designed by the Hawaiian Radio Club, and the thing was going around for a while, so I made a couple of them, and I don't know how many there is. Everybody around had one of those for going out portable, you know, and playing. And they work quite well. I was thinking of some way to rig that up out here. The other thing is I was going to run a wire over and load up the gutters. My friend over in Chicopee told me, he said, just run a wire up and load up the gutters. They work pretty good. And the gutter across the front of this building is about 50 feet long.
One MWJ. You know, there's this wire out that you could string out that people just wouldn't even see, made by Davis RF up in New Hampshire, in North Haverhill, New Hampshire. It's, let's see, 26 gauge poly stealth wire, and they refer to it as like kite wire. And if you made an antenna out of that, nobody'd ever see it. It's let me see here. The 26 gauge is 15 cents a foot.
Yeah, very good. I have some real fine wire. And one day when we were out, I guess we were up on Mount Tom and setting up portable. And just for the heck of it, I didn't really need to use the antenna because my friend that I was with had his with him. But I wanted to try the transformer, make sure the transformer, I think it was the second one I made. So I took a piece of that wire, we tied a little chunk of wood, picked up a piece of wood on the ground, some dead wood, and just flung it over a tree branch. And I looked at that for, after we did it, I looked and of course we were in the trees kind of, but unless the sun hit it just right, you couldn't even see that wire. And I said, boy, that got my mind thinking about running it out to that spruce tree or something. But yeah, I got to try something because I can't do too much HF, and I really would like to. And I got HF, of course, on this rig, and I got an FT101, and I also recently picked up a pair of Kenwood twins, 599D twins. I really like those. They got a kind of a nostalgia spot in my heart. I remember when they came out new, and I liked them then. Of course, I couldn't afford them. But I got a pair of them sitting here now. I'd like to get some kind of an antenna that's more usable than what I got. And I'll keep trying, keep poking around. N1MWJ, this is N1AND.
Go on the web there to davisrf, DAVISRF.com, and go to the amateur products, and then to antenna wire, and look at this poly stealth wire. There's 13, 18, and 26. 13 is the strongest, 26 is the thinness, and let's see. I quoted the wrong price. That's for 1,000 feet or more. But by the foot at 100 feet or less, it's 21 for the 26 gauge, and 34 cents for the number 13 wire, and the 18 is 27. But anyhow, K2LM had the same issue as you for antenna restrictions, and that 26 is just almost invisible.
Yeah, I'm looking at that site right now. Kite wire. Very interesting. Yeah, I'd like to try something different. That's very interesting, Ellis. Thanks for that site. I may try some of that. And like I say, if I end-fed it with the little transformer I got, they're only good for 100 watts, but this radio I'm talking on only does 100 watts. Anything I got here only does 100 watts. So I'd be safe with it, I guess. And I could run that out. I'm on the second floor, so it'd be up, a little bit above ground, even from the window. I just have to look for something to hook the other end to.
Just take a little bit of a dark, parachute cord or something like that, and make up the difference of distance, to a tree or something, and tie a sock with some sand in it or something like that to it and pitch it up and over.
Yeah, right. That's that's kind of what we did when we were up at Mount Tom there. I just pulled out a bunch of that wire. I don't even remember how much I had pulled out of it. I had a big roll of it, and I pulled a bunch off. And like I said, we found a chunk of dead wood on the ground here, and we wrapped it around and tossed it up over a branch of a tree. So it was kind of like an inverted V, but I mean it's an end-fed anyway. So. I don't know how much I had out there. Like I say, we were talking in the area of 30, 40 feet. And, geez, turned the radio on. The first contact we made was a guy in London. And the thing worked, wonderfully. And we did find out, I was with Rich, KC1AEO, excuse me, and he had the same kind of a setup, a little heavier wire. But he ran his like north and south, and I had mine running east and west, and we found out one worked one way and one worked the other. Of course, the radiate at right angles to the wire, but he could work east and west with his north and south strung out, wire, and mine was the other way, and I was working north and south with the east-west configuration. We had a lot of fun that day and learned a couple of things, You can move that wire around, and it is somewhat directional.
Yeah, I got a wire antenna, a long wire up at my cabin, and which I need to make a bit longer, but works fine on 40 and stuff. But yeah, it's only like 66 feet or so. I've got to put some more on it because it was just sort of scrap left over from an old dipole that had gotten beat up after about 20 years. One too many ice storms tore it apart. So I just took one leg of it and used it, for a long wire. But I may order some of this kite wire and just run some out and put it to a tree there and disconnect the old stuff. And I got one of those FC4 tuners for my 897 and play with that and try some different directions as well. And one MWJ.
Yeah, very good. I got a MFJ Versatuner 5, it's a 989D. It says that, they claim it'll tune just about anything. And I never tried it for like an end-fed wire or anything like that. I just use it for coax-fed stuff. But the little transformers that we made, they're actually not a balun. They're an unbalanced coax, with an unbalanced end-fed. And they work pretty well. You need some sort of a tuner, and I'm sure I could tune no matter what I did with it. I could tune it with the 989. But that's very interesting, and you got me thinking again. Tomorrow is Wednesday. None of the office folk or anybody else is around here on Wednesday. It's their day off. I could do a lot of stuff. But as soon as they come in, everybody that lives here is going to see me doing it. They're going to run right over there and tell them. Oh, well. That's life living in housing for the elderly, I guess. Well, Ellis, good talking with you. And I got to go. I might turn on some HF here and see what happens. And I'm looking at this website and going to study that a little bit. I got to try something different for antennas. You have a nice day, and with 30-something degrees, well, I'm up to 42 now. It's climbing as we talk. The sun is shining. So I'll talk to you later, Alice. N1MWJ, have a nice day. This is N1AND.
Yeah, Doug, Davis's Flex weave is very good. It's a little bit bigger stuff, a little easier to see, but from 50 feet away or so, you're really not going to see it. And that stuff just doesn't kink, and you can get it in several colors. I think you can get it in green as well as black, and I think clear insulation as well. But that's what my Buckmaster's made out of, that flex weave, and it just does not kink. It's good stuff. Anyways, we'll let you go. Catch you later. Good talking with you. 7-3. N1A and D, N1MWJ.